Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Athletes Roundtable. This podcast is brought to you by Athletes Productions, the best place to find Iona highlight reels, podcasts, and much more. Today, we are joined by
Danny Vanadia.
All right, Danny, just a few basic questions just to get to know you a little bit. So what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, and where are you from?
Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers.
Close by.
Very close.
Yeah.
Are you a commuter or you live here?
I'm a resident student.
Really? Why
Yes.
Why is that if you are so close?
Just like to get the whole experience, like really put myself out there more.
Fair enough, I agree. I feel like commuters are just like high school students again.
Yeah.
I don't know. And what's your major?
I'm still undecided, but most likely business.
Business. Very nice. So how do you first get into crew? That's a very interesting sport to get into.
Well, I was kind of in like stranger sports for a while because like I started off soccer, baseball, basketball, and then in high school I ended up doing throwing for track and field.
Yeah.
And it's not really a huge thing here. So when I got here, I just decided to try out for rowing. I had barely any experience, but I just thought like, why not? Maybe like meet some people and just like join a team, and it worked out.
Fun.
what is your favorite part of rowing or crew?
It's the same
Hold
thing.
on.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of crew?
I guess just like the whole like how much of a team sport it is, because like when you're in the boat, it's kind of just like like each person in the boat is like relying on everyone else there to be like pulling like their full power and everything.
What boats do you row?
Last year as a walk-on, I was just basically only in the novice 4, so just like people in the first year of rowing.
Okay.
And then this year I was in the varsity 8 in the fall.
Okay.
And then this year probably the same thing, and then also some more 4s.
Which one do you like better?
I guess for right now I would just say like the 8, just because I don't know, it's just like this whole group of guys there for it, and I guess like it was my first varsity boat, so it just felt like more like official and everything.
Gotcha.
How would you describe the differences between like each race?
Well, it's really like the fall races are 5,000 meters mostly, and the spring races are 2,000 meters. And so really like the only difference is like how you kind of like have to pace yourself more through the 5K races. And yeah, so then like once you get to the spring, it's like just quick sprints and then you're done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So would you say that the practices are fun? Because I don't know, like I feel like track practices really aren't fun. Swimming practices, maybe you get a little fun in there, but like it's also just brutal. But what would you say about crew?
Well, like I would say there's like a lot of like different like stats involved. Like you see your own numbers on the rowing machine, or like the whole boat's numbers in the boat, and just like the feeling you get when like you actually beat like the goal like you've been working towards, or just your standard or anything. Yeah, I would say that really, and just like the whole like group, like the whole team coming together for it, those really make it like the most fun.
How do you guys better each other during practice?
Probably just like just friendly competition in practice. Like you're all like next to each other on the rowing machine, just trying to each like do better than you did last time. And it's only a friendly competition, so like you do kind of compare yourself to others and like try to like meet where other people are. Or, like I know we have like an all-time list now from like the past 15 years now, and like it's fun to just look at it and be like where you are now, and like just see where like just a little growth could put you like all time.
So now do you have morning practices as well as
Yes.
afternoon practices?
Yes, 6 a.m. lifts a few times a week, and then also usually practice at around 5 on the weekdays, and then Saturday mornings too.
How are you able to balance that with school and college life in general?
I feel like I've definitely gotten better at it as I've gotten more used to it. It's I don't really know exactly. I guess it's just something like I know like I have to do. I have to figure out how to balance it, like get everywhere on time and everything. And yeah, it just worked out.
Do you like practicing in the morning more than the night practices? Because I could never like wake up that early and go practice.
It depends, honestly. Like the 6 a.m. lifts sometimes definitely feel like a little bit too early, but the like on Saturday practices usually like 8:30, and those are always pretty fun and more like quicker like test pieces. So those are usually like the most enjoyable ones. I mean, maybe it's more just because like you can see like what standard you're at, but yeah.
So outside of crew, do you have any hobbies, like to do anything?
Yeah, I guess just like hanging out with friends and family, just working out in general, and just mainly like just following sports and everything like that.
Sports. We're big sports guys too.
Yeah.
We'll get to that a little bit later though. So do you have any goals for this upcoming spring season?
My goal has been to get my 2K under 7 minutes. I'm just a little bit over it right now, but it's kind of like I feel like I definitely have it in me, and I just haven't gotten there yet. So I guess I'm hoping to keep dropping it down into the lower 650s by the end of the semester.
All right, well, we wanted to do a short interview this week because we have a special segment, Random Rankings, NFL Edition. Well, now that we've gotten all set up with Danny, we are going to do our way too early power rankings of the NFL. So, Danny, you are going to start with the bottom and bring us all the way up to the top with the best teams, but I hope we got some interesting picks in here.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
I think I honestly got to start with the Colts.
Oof, number 32. Interesting.
Just because, like, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
True.
Yeah, that's the main part of it. Like, Jonathan Taylor's pretty great, but I don't trust them as a whole right now.
Yeah, they kind of don't really have anything else going for them.
I'm happy you put them last. 'Cause I had Jonathan Taylor in my fantasy league, and ever since last year ended, I just hate the Colts.
So I'd also like to say before we get any further that we're doing these rankings, or Danny will be doing these rankings based on what we think the team is going to be doing next year. So
How they will,
for
like,
example, like
finish.
the Jets, it's if he thinks they're going to get a quarterback. So it's not just where they are right now, it's where he thinks they will be. But I just wanted to preface that. But good pick for 32.
And then I think I got to go with the Texans next.
Texans
are always bad, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like they could get a good quarterback in the draft, and that's the only reason I'm putting them above the Colts. But
You're talking about Davis Mills is the answer.
I don't know.
Okay, I got to be honest with the Texans real quick, though. They had some tough games this year. Like, they almost beat the Chiefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like an overtime loss, I think, in like the first play of overtime or something like that. It was a fumble recovery, I believe. But they played some close games, even though they had a terrible record. But I do agree with you. They do need a quarterback.
Yeah,
They have a
Davis
pretty
Mills
good
is
running
not great.
back.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce.
Yeah. He's all right, but I don't think he can lead them like anywhere without a quarterback.
He's also just a rookie. He was good for a rookie, great for a rookie, but
And Brandon Cooks is pretty good too. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go to Falcons next. Actually.
Ooh, changed his mind. Falcons.
Yeah. A lot of these bottom teams are tough. There's just not really much to say about them. That's why they're down there.
Yeah, very fair. Marcus Mariota, is he going to be a quarterback next year again? I feel like he did a decent job. He didn't do too bad.
Marcus Mariota in college was insane, and then ever since he got to the NFL, he hasn't been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like Kyle Pitts. I feel like their tight end.
They just don't throw
He's
to him. Like, he did
overrated.
well
I
last
feel
year.
like they just don't use them right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
And I think to fill out the last row, I gotta go with the Bears.
Bears.
Mm.
Okay. All right. That's also a fair choice. I mean, they had the worst record this year, right?
Yeah.
Or second worst?
Or-
No, the worst because Yeah.
Bottom line, they were just terrible last season.
They were. I think they got their franchise quarterback though.
Yeah, I like Justin
Yeah,
Fields. I
me
think
too.
he's gonna get better.
Yeah, but they kind of don't have anything else. So.
Yeah,
and
not
a head
better
coach. They
enough
got
to
a head
put
coach,
him
but yeah, the rest of it is not there. So, all right, bottom row.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have to agree. I think it's
Yeah,
a
me
pretty
too.
solid choices.
I agree with that.
yeah, I mean, I feel like the order could be switched around. But it's just like this bottom tier.
Yeah,
of,
yeah. Bottom.
like,
We can do it
bad
in
teams
tiers
right now.
basically, but once we get to the top, we'll rank them a little better.
And then I just don't like the Titans right now either.
I agree. Titans, what are they gonna do? Like I don't know if Tannehill is he even their quarterback? Like
He is, but I don't know if he will be.
Yeah, he's or what's his name?
Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis. That's what I was gonna say. I really liked him coming out of college, and I know he didn't do too much. He didn't have that big of a chance this past year, but I hope he does something. He's got incredible arm talent, I will say.
Their whole year relies around Derrick Henry, and I feel like he's always hurt in the middle of the season.
Yeah. Plus,
so.
this is like what? It's like 8th year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prime running backs are like 3rd year, 4th year, and it's too late for he's not gonna peak again. He's already reached his peak. So I like the pick too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say he started breaking down, but I don't think he had as great of a year this year as he has been having.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And then I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Panthers. All these bottom teams,
Yeah.
I'm so glad the Jets aren't there because they almost always are.
Panthers have, I feel like, nothing going for them now that McCaffrey's been gone, but I feel like he was their star player, and now they have no star players.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, really. I feel like they just got to figure some stuff out there.
Yeah, they really don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back. They don't really have too much going for them. But I don't know. I guess it's rebuilding time for a reason.
I do like their jerseys, though. So they
Their
have their
jerseys are
jerseys
fire.
going for them.
I'm impressed you're able to do this because honestly, it would take me forever to go through each pick.
This one's gonna be a little tougher.
Eliminated the good from the bad,
Yeah,
or
it's
the average and good from the really bad.
These next four, I feel like, are pretty close. I might just go with the Saints next. I think.
Okay,
Fair
that's
pick.
tough. That's tough to hear.
It's tough, but I don't know. I just don't trust them right now as much as some of the other teams over here.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is their quarterback going to be Jameis again?
I hope so. I like Jameis Winston, but I don't. He got hurt this year, right?
Yeah.
the last
They were
2
starting
years.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah. The last 2 years he got hurt, and when he's been playing, he's been pretty good. But
He's like a decent quarterback.
yeah,
I feel like he gets a lot of hate because of all the interceptions he's throwing.
yeah. But he would throw 5 touchdowns,
Yeah, but
5
he-
interceptions, and 1,000
He
yards.
he balances it out, you know.
Yeah,
5 interceptions, 5 touchdowns.
he does. Plus, Alvin Kamara is very good still. I mean, even though he's getting older and such, he's still a good running back.
Yeah. It's just other than that.
Yeah, Michael Thomas, what's going on with him?
If he's even still on the team next year.
Yeah, strange.
And then I think I got to go with the Commanders.
Commanders. I really don't know much about the Commanders. I feel like they're just a team that's there. They were
Yeah.
just outshined by the other teams in the NFC East.
Yeah.
I like their mascot, though. They have a pig as their mascot.
Man, we should have ranked mascot. We can do that. We can do that another show. That would have been funny.
Yeah, I mean, they have a good team, but it's just tough division and everything. And after this year.
Yeah.
And
From worst to one of the best divisions. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
And I don't know. I don't know who their quarterback is either next year. If it's still Heineke or Wentz, or if they pick up someone.
They have a solid defense, though. Chase Young's pretty good.
Yeah. I really don't want to say it, but I think I might have to go with the Packers next.
Ooh.
Packers, wow.
Right, and it is what we think it's going to happen with
Yeah.
them. So,
Yeah.
Just, I don't think they have Aaron Rodgers next year.
I don't think so either.
Where do you think he goes?
At the moment, I want to say he goes to the Raiders with Devontae Adams there.
I like that, honestly, because I don't want him on the Jets. I really do like that.
Yeah.
Rodgers to the Raiders, Carr to the Jets.
I'm cool with
the
that.
dream
I'm
scenario.
I would
cool
like
with it. That would be nice.
Um,
honestly, without having Rodgers, I feel like the Packers would be even lower on this list. I feel like without him, they would have done absolutely jack diddly squat this year.
Yeah. And then, it's close. I would say it's close between the Commanders, the Packers, and the Patriots, but I'm going to put the Patriots next.
Okay. Interesting choice.
I do like that, though, because I feel like the Patriots are slightly better than them.
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
The Patriots' defense is really... Having them beat the Jets twice and watching both of those games be absolutely terrible, it was really tough to watch. But props to the Patriots because their defense is very good.
Yeah.
So I think that I definitely agree that they're better than those teams.
I just don't trust Mac Jones enough to put them higher at this point.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna go. Okay, it's close. It's between the Browns, the Raiders, and the Steelers.
It's crazy the Jaguars are still there.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
That is true. Trevor Lawrence did have a good playoffs.
They're gonna stay around a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna go with the Browns next.
Okay.
I honestly just don't know what to expect from Deshaun Watson.
That's fair.
And their running game is really good. But I just feel like I trust the next few teams more.
Yeah, we really don't know what to expect from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. It's tough because he played a couple games, but not really enough. He hadn't played for like 2 years. So I don't know what's going to happen by next year.
I do love Nick Chubb, though, because when I picked Jonathan Taylor, I picked Chubb as well, and Chubb really carried my fantasy team, so I give Chubb all the love.
Amari Cooper is really good receiver, too.
And Kareem Hunt, like having him as a backup, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Browns' offense is pretty good.
They are. I don't know what to think about the Browns, honestly.
If they definitely I don't know. I mean, Watson hadn't played in a while, but he had I feel like some rust was expected, but he did a lot more than I expected this year. But if he's playing like normal, they're way higher on the list. But
yeah,
I gotta leave them there now. And then I think I'm gonna go with the Raiders next, even though I think Aaron Rodgers is going there.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. They're a really good team, but it's also a really tough division.
I would have had him a lot higher, honestly. Because Jacobs is such a good running back, and then if Aaron Rodgers goes there with Devontae Adams, they could make a lot of noise next year. I feel like.
I'll be honest. I really don't know what to think about the Raiders because they did very poor this year, even though they had a arguably better team than they did the year before, and they made the playoffs. Yeah, they made the playoffs last year, I think.
Yeah, the 17th.
Yeah, so I just don't know what to think about them because I do like Derek Carr, and he's not going to be there next year for sure. And if Aaron Rodgers goes there, it's going to be huge for them, I would say. But even though last year, I think they had 7 game-winning field goals or drives, which means they could have been 2-15 instead of being 9-8 or something like that. I don't know if that math added up. Yeah, I think it did.
No, so, but another big factor is if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go to the Raiders, then it's who are they going to have for quarterbacks?
Yeah.
They could be bottom of the list, or they could be top 15 team.
And I don't know where I expect him to go, but Josh Jacobs is a free agent this summer now.
You're right. You're right.
But I still have the Cardinals here. I feel like they should have been above the Cardinals. I guess. I mean, is it? There, I'll just swap the tape, I think.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I like that decision. Yeah. I don't know what to expect from the Cardinals right now. I might put them below the Browns, too. Cardinals are just... on paper, they should be so good.
On paper, they should be amazing. And then Kyler Murray just plays too much Call of Duty, and then he just doesn't know what to do on the field.
And now they have a new coach and everything, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Well, keep them going, Danny. I'm liking the picks.
I think I gotta go with the Steelers next. I mean, Mike Tomlin has kept them good, for so long. I think he has that long stretch of 500 or better record. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think there's too much like special about them compared to the teams still remaining.
They surprised me a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett did better than expected, and George Pickens was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And their defense is just good in general. They've always been good for a long time.
Especially with T.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if T.J. Watt stays healthy, then their defense is always like top tier.
Yeah, they were nearly in the playoffs. Like,
yeah, they were. I think if the Jets beat the Dolphins,
I think so.
last week, then they would have been in the playoffs. Tough defeat.
And then I think, I think I might have to go with the Bucks next.
I like that pick. I feel like they're like a streaky team.
And I mean, at the moment, I'm thinking their quarterback will be either Garoppolo or Derek Carr, and that the other one will be on the Jets.
Yeah, true. I'd be fine with either one of those. So whatever. I'd probably prefer Derek Carr a little bit, but
yeah, I agree.
Either one would be fine. That's an interesting take. I think they would. Yeah.
I feel like Brady didn't even have a great year, and they were just the middle of the pack team, and I feel like that would kind of just stay around the same for them.
I feel like a lot of their contracts should be expiring soon. Like not necessarily this year, but over the next couple years, they're gonna have no one left because they signed so many people to a 1-year deal. Like 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl, and then they extended those contracts, and it's terrible.
You know what's crazy is that I learned that they had Richard Sherman when they won the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. For like, I think it was like a 1-year contract. Richard Sherman.
That's interesting.
And
you know, speaking of that, sorry, not to cut you off.
No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Melvin Gordon with the Chiefs. Didn't he win the Super Bowl? And I'm like, when was Melvin Gordon on the Chiefs? That was crazy. I did not expect that at all.
He's been in like the whole AFC West now, except Oakland, I think.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon and Todd Gurley and Eddie Lacy have like all fallen off. So they've all taken such huge fall offs. It's crazy to see how great they were, and then a couple of years later they're like
Todd Gurley was crazy. Todd Gurley was so good, and then just literally 1 year just done, pretty much. Arthritis, I think, got to him. I'm pretty sure it was arthritis. He said something like that. Old man's disease.
And I mean, just like with the Bucks here, they're still in the playoffs though, just because their division is so bad right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of Todd Gurley, I'm actually going with the Rams next.
Dang.
I don't know. I feel like they definitely really underperformed this year, and a lot of it was due to injuries. But at the same time, the whole team is just getting older and everything, and they just gotta. I mean, I've seen rumors of like Jalen Ramsey getting traded, but if none of that happens, then they just gotta hope everyone gets healthy.
If all of them were playing like 3 years ago, then they'd probably be Super Bowl favorites. But I think they're off their peak now. Like their peak left.
This was such a weird season for them. So strange.
I really like Stafford. I would have loved to put him higher, but I think I gotta leave him there for now. Okay, I feel like it's starting to get a little tougher.
Rapid fire. I want the next 4 right now.
I think I'm gonna go with the Seahawks next.
Okay.
I think that's a fair pick.
Yeah, I'm liking that one.
I feel like they did better than I expected this year.
And will they just keep getting better though? I feel like they could just keep getting better.
They could definitely, but I don't know.
Also,
I feel like we'll have to see, kind of.
Pete Carroll is such a top tier coach too. He can take any team to the playoffs.
And then I would have loved to put him higher, but I think I gotta go with my Giants.
Okay.
Giants.
Okay. I agree. Do you think Daniel Jones is the answer?
I think Brian Dable is the answer. He brought all this out of Daniel Jones right now, like how he helped Josh Allen back in Buffalo.
That's very fair.
Daniel Jones had a great playoff game against the Vikings.
He did.
He was running the ball crazy, passing it.
Best game I've ever seen from him.
Yeah,
he had so much. He had so many rushes. Like I think there was one drive. He had like 4 out of 5 plays were rushes from him.
And also Saquon's back too. So
I
think Saquon is gonna have another or a better year than the previous one.
Yeah, I think both Jones and Barkley are staying. I'd be surprised if either of them leave. And then I think I gotta go with the Lions next.
Okay. Surprised they're that high? Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not surprised. Yeah. You give your defense first.
I feel like they're a really fun team. Jared Goff played really well, and that they're just this young team, and like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson,
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, and I feel like they're just gonna keep improving, and they still have pretty good draft picks from the Stafford trade.
Yeah.
Also, DeAndre Swift is such a good running back too. When he's out there on the field, him and Jamal Williams.
Two of them are really good.
Yeah, their rushing game is really good.
They really surprised me the second half of last season. They played incredibly well. But yeah. That's why I was originally shocked. I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait a second, they actually did good.
Jared Goff's all right too. Like he's not terrible.
Yeah. And I love that they won that last game just to kick the Packers out of the playoffs, just for no other reason.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this might be the most surprising one, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos now.
That is very surprising. A little crazy. I don't know.
I feel like it's very bold, but I just really trust them more to put it all together next year. I feel like they should have this year, but with just new coach Javonte Williams coming back, I mean, Russell Wilson is still a really great quarterback.
He is. But, okay, he is really great. But how great was he if Geno Smith in his not his first season, but like his first season running that team, had more passing yards than Russell Wilson ever did? Like, that's crazy. So I don't know how good Russell Wilson was or just how good that offensive line and wide receiver core was. But maybe that's an argument for another time.
I think a lot of people talked about, like, oh, was it Brady or was it Belichick? I feel like it could be, like, was it Russell Wilson in Seattle or was it Pete Carroll who helped him? You know what I mean? Like, I think Pete Carroll was a big factor in Russell Wilson's play in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, like, my scariest pick on the board. But I just really trust them a lot more to put it all together now. I feel like they started the last two games once Nathaniel Hackett was fired. They started to put it together. Like, they kept it close against the Chiefs.
Their defense is really good. I will give it to them. Their defense is incredible.
Yeah.
But their offense is equally terrible.
I'm trusting it to improve.
Yeah.
Tim Patrick's coming back too now.
I think Russell Wilson's not going to have a terrible season again.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be above average at least.
Yeah, I loved, like, the memes of how many touchdowns he had compared to how many bathrooms he had in his house. I think he's going to easily beat that next year.
I would love to see it.
He was, like, doing, like, workouts on the team plane and stuff. And, like,
yeah. All right, now we've reached the top 12.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Picks have been good so far. Not too shocking.
I definitely have my top 10 set. Like, I think 11 and 12 is between the Jaguars and the Jets.
Okay.
Interesting choices.
And I think I'm going to go Jaguars 12 and then Jets 11.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I would have had Jets in my top 10.
I think so, too. I would have had Jets in top 10, too, based on where I think they're going to be. But
I think they get Derek Carr, and I think I don't know. I think they'll be really close to the top 10, but I think it'll take another year or two to actually get in there. Because I feel like the top 10 is really stacked right now.
This is crazy. You can quote me. I've said it on our other radio show, Sports Bros, by the way. You should check it out. But I've said it there. This year, I've said it for the last 4 years, that this year, the next time the Jets and the Giants play in the regular season, the Jets are going to be really good. So I've said it the last 4 years. You can't quote me for the last 4 years because there's nothing. No one. Everyone is just word of mouth. But I got a feeling. I got a feeling in the Jets next year. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But call me out when the Jets are in the AFC Championship.
Ryan on Sports Bros every single week. I'm like, Jets are not gonna be good. Jets are not gonna be good. And the Jets were really, like, not really good, but they were an okay, decent team, and I think they can only get better. And I think this year they can be easily top 10.
If they had a freaking competent quarterback, they would have been in the playoffs.
I was telling you though that Zach Wilson's not the answer.
You were. You can take that credit.
But I think Derek Carr is really gonna help him out though.
I hope so.
I'm with Breece Hall coming back.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping he can come back after this injury because sometimes, like Saquon, it took him a couple years. Yeah. So I'm hoping so. But all right, top 10.
And at 10, I think I gotta go with the Dolphins.
Ooh. Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you pick and then say what I was gonna say.
I think they're coming up soon. Just they had some really great stretches and some really not so great stretches this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like just gotta hope Tua comes back and is healthy.
True. If Tua is there, then they're much closer.
Yeah, and with Tyreek and Waddle.
Yeah, will he even play? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with him. He's just so many concussions and injuries. It's not good. I don't know how good he's going to be able to be.
Mm-hmm. But Waddle's I feel like Waddle's underrated actually
because of Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Yeah. That duo is so good in the league. They're probably the best wide receiver duo.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. And, I mean, Tua really shocked me this season with how well he played when he was healthy.
Mm.
But if he's still injured next season, then they're definitely dropping down.
Yeah.
And then I got to go to another great wide receiver for the Vikings.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, the Vikings are, slowly, going all the way up to maybe, top 5. But
there's no way. Sorry, there's no way. The Vikings, I feel like they just...
I agree with this, though.
Of course you agree with the Chargers. No, the Vikings, I could not put them in the top 10. I would probably put them around 15, if I'm being honest. I feel like they had a good season, but...
You could have the Giants above the Vikings. And even the Lions, I feel like.
I could agree with that, actually. I don't know. The Vikings just... I feel like they kind of collapsed a little bit in the playoffs, of course, but...
They do have a great offense.
Yeah.
Their offense is very good. If they had a
Justin
defense,
Jefferson.
if you combine the Jets defense and the Vikings offense, that'd be a dangerous team.
Right
Honestly.
But,
that offense is why they're up there. Justin Jefferson, Cousins has been great.
Also, their defensive backs are terrible and their safeties are terrible, but their defensive line is all right. Like, Danielle Hunter's a Pro Bowl, Darius Smith's a Pro Bowl. Like, they're not terrible, so I like it.
As I know they won a lot of one-score games, but at the same time, I feel like it takes some skill to be able to pull it out in all.
That's
of
what I'm
those
saying,
games.
right? Yeah, it's like everyone hates on the Vikings because they could have been 2-2 and whatever if they didn't their whole record could have switched. But I'm like, I feel like it takes even more talent, and more strategy to win those close games than just blowing.
You know what's crazy actually? Okay. I saw this Instagram reel, but I'm going to take their word for it. But if you switched whoever won one-score games, if you switched who won, in the AFC, the Browns would have been first if you switched everyone who won the one-score game. So is that just bad coaching, or is that just they were in the games? That's crazy to me because they didn't even make the playoffs, and they were not really that close at all. Mm-hmm. So if they would have been first if they just switched. That's crazy.
Now, another thing is we're not picking where the Vikings are right now. We're picking where they're gonna end up, and I think their head coaching and their general manager, it was both of their first seasons last year, and I think they did a really good job. So I'm excited to see what they can do for the team next year.
Yeah, I trust them to stay around here just because of that offense mostly. At 8, I think I gotta go with the Ravens, and this is
the running back quarterback.
This is thinking Lamar's definitely staying.
Lamar is so overhyped. I feel like he's just a running back.
He can throw though. I'm with you. Okay, I'm not with Danny. I don't think they should be in the top 8. I feel like they should be around 12, 13 maybe.
I feel like the Jets could be higher than.
I think the Jets will be higher next year than which kind of what we're doing here, but. I mean, you make your picks, Danny, but I am not agreeing with them.
I think a lot of it depends on Lamar's health. He hasn't been healthy the past few years, but I feel like when he is healthy, he can bring them to that spot. I feel like.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. They did play very well with Lamar and not very well without him, except against the Bengals in the playoffs there. But
they did almost beat the Bengals too in the playoffs.
They did. Tyler Huntley came to play that day, and then
Pro
he came
Bowler.
to not play.
Pro Bowler Huntley. That's
should have been
still
the
can't
Pro
believe
Bowler.
that.
I mean, if it was guaranteed that Lamar was going to be healthy all season, I might put them above the next team, but I got to put the Chargers at 7.
Okay.
I feel like they've had a history of underperforming, but I feel like eventually they just got to put it together, and they have a really good team. Herbert's just young and getting better. Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
Yeah, you're right.
And the defense too, Joey Bosa, all of them.
But that was a monumental collapse in the playoffs to the Jaguars. Props to the Jaguars, by the way, because they played terrible and then they played amazing.
Yeah.
But
Trevor Lawrence had a great game.
I thought the Chargers were going to be a lot better this year. And obviously they're in a tough division, which doesn't help. But if you're in a tough division, then you should be able to win those tough games in the playoffs. So, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the past few years I just keep expecting them to be better, but I feel like eventually they have to put it together. So like this might be the year.
Chargers are like the Vikings when it comes to like performing in the playoffs. They always seem to have it, and then they always choke it. So
yeah.
I mean, 31 points in the half is impressive in the playoffs, even though they ended up blowing it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then I really don't want to put the Cowboys this high as a Giants fan, but I think I have to.
Danny, I think we need to kick you off this show. I don't know what your picks are right now. The Cowboys,
I loved how it started, and then all of a sudden it just went full 180.
I will give it to the Cowboys that Dak's game in the playoffs against the Bucs was probably the best I've ever seen him play. That was the best Cowboys game I've seen all season. But they were just so unpredictable. Like, they started off great, and then they were just, like, up and down and up and down. And sure, CeeDee Lamb love CeeDee Lamb. He's great. And you got Tony Pollard, who did really well. Ezekiel Elliott. Is Pollard staying, do you think? He's a free agent, I believe.
Yeah, I would say he is.
Okay, well, I do not think they should be in the top 6. I'm sorry, Danny. I don't even think they should be in the top 10, to be honest. I think the Jets should be, but that's...
I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys nearly got the number 1 seed in the NFC this year. It was really close between them and the Eagles.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to see like an actual game between Cowboys and Eagles because Hurts was injured for one and Dak was injured for the other.
True.
I kind of like this pick, though, because the Cowboys had a great ending to the regular season. And they almost took the Eagles' top spot. And then they beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, sent him home. So I think it's a solid pick.
And then who'd they lose to? Eagles? Or the 49ers?
The 49ers.
49ers, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not close at all, right? Didn't the 49ers blow them out?
No, I think it was like that weird final play at the end with like Zeke at center.
Oh, yeah.
They lost by like 8 points, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they have a really good complete team. I would have loved to put them lower, but I just can't at this point.
All right, top 5.
I think
you have the right teams in here, by the way.
I feel like the top 5 is pretty set. They're just a tier above.
Yeah, I agree.
But who are you gonna put on the second line?
Yeah,
I think I gotta go with the Bengals.
Okay.
Interesting.
You think the Bengals are not gonna make it back to the AFC Championship game?
I mean, it's really interesting because like with a few weeks to go in the regular season, this matchup was my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah.
And then Cowboys had that tough game against the Commanders, and that's why I ended up going with the Eagles instead. And just, I don't know, I had a lot of faith in the Bengals this year, but going into next year, like I don't really know what's happening with Joe Mixon, and I think they have some players who are on like expiring deals. Like I don't know where Jesse Bates is going to be. So
that's fair.
Just the uncertainty. I think I got to leave them there for now.
True. All right, top 4.
I just love Joe Burrow though. I feel like Joe Burrow can lead a team anywhere. So
yeah,
I could see them winning the Super Bowl even next year.
I feel like they're just like they could go on any streak really.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with like the wide receivers they have, and if Joe Mixon stays and plays good, like their offense is too elite.
Obviously, their playoff runs are really good over the last 2 years. They were not expected to make the Super Bowl last year, and then I would say they weren't expected to beat the Bills this year, but that was close enough that it could have been done. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could be on the top. It's just really close between all these, and I think I got to put them down.
Okay.
But next, for right now, I got to go with the 49ers. Just because we don't know exactly what's happening at quarterback, if Purdy's going to be fully healthy, or I don't think Garoppolo's still going to be there.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think Purdy took that spot.
I mean, I don't know what they do with Trey Lance then.
Put him on the bench, honestly.
I mean,
or trade him.
Purdy's hurt though too.
True.
Yeah, but like their offense and defense is just too good to put them anywhere lower, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny because going back to the beginning of the season, with Trey Lance starting, the 49ers were pretty bad. They won games like 11-10, mm-hmm. I think was one of them, and they were not putting up many points. And I was like, the 49ers team is not good. Trey Lance isn't the answer. Put in Jimmy Garoppolo. And then Jimmy Garoppolo gets in there because Trey Lance gets hurt. And then Jimmy Garoppolo's doing a little better than Trey Lance was. But he's had experience. And then Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, and then Brock Purdy, I'm like, there's no way. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, 49ers are one of the best teams in the NFL. It's crazy that happened.
And they maintained that whole winning streak from Garoppolo through Purdy playing just seamlessly, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Could
Very
Purdy
impressive.
be the new Tom Brady?
Maybe, honestly. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
I know Brady wasn't, but that's crazy that he did that well.
Like, I don't know. There weren't even many tough games, I feel like. I know they had the close one against the Raiders when they had Jarrett Stidham starting. That was weird. But, yeah. And I mean, their loss eventually came when Purdy got hurt.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited to see where you put these last 3 teams.
Yeah. All of them could go anywhere, I think.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty easy, honestly.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Bills
Bills
at 3.
number 3? No. Come on. They should be number 1.
I don't know, because I thought the Bills were number 1 the last 2 years, and they just keep losing. They find ways to lose in the playoffs.
Their players keep on getting hurt, though.
Yeah.
Like, if they had Von Miller, I think they could have beaten the Bengals.
I don't know. I feel like all their games were close at the end of the year, end of the season, in the playoffs. I just feel like this was the year that the Bills were going to be even better.
They should have had it, yeah.
And they didn't. So I don't know what to think about the Bills. I feel like they can't.
The NFL scriptwriters were so good setting it up to with DeMar Hamlin's injury, and then the Bills going to win the Super Bowl. That would have been the best ending.
Yeah.
Ever, but
scriptwriters didn't
have it
but
this
time.
At least DeMar Hamlin's healthy now, and
yeah, very
it's all
thankful for
good.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, this might be partially my bias as a Giants fan, but Brian Dable was there. Now he's with the Giants, and I feel like Josh Allen. I feel like he's just this kind of quarterback whisperer kind of guy.
Daniel
and
Jones,
Josh
the new
Allen,
Josh Allen. I feel like they play kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I still have Josh Allen is way better, but I think he struggled a little bit more this year, like a few more interceptions and everything.
Yeah.
So I got to keep him there for now.
Mm-hmm.
Allen was really bad in the end, like the red zone, because he would throw so many interceptions in the red zone, and he lost the game against the Vikings by like dropping the snap. Like he had some moments where he just he lost the game pretty much for the team.
I mean, that playoff game against Miami with Skylar Thompson was way closer than it should have been.
100%.
And also, Diggs and Allen like yelling at each other during the Bills Bengals game. Like I think they need to work out some stuff too, but I think the Bills could win it next year.
I feel like they always have a chance.
Yeah.
They need a new running back too.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Super Bowl matchup as the top 2, but I gotta go with the Eagles at second.
Oh man, okay, that's fair.
They have a really solid team. Like, Mahomes is really the only thing keeping the Chiefs above.
I agree.
100%.
If Mahomes is hurt, Chiefs are done for, pretty much.
It's just like, I don't know, I trust Mahomes more than anyone in the league. Like, he just took them to the Super Bowl and won it with his injuries.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he can only be even better when he's healthy.
Also, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Great season.
Yeah,
but I think Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the league.
Who do you think is, Jordan? Kirk Cousins?
Nah. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league.
I can't give it to Josh Allen. I think Mahomes has proven himself to be the best quarterback in the league. But I'd have to put Jalen Hurts up there too. Like, he put up really good numbers this year, especially in the Super Bowl. He played really well. He did have that one fumble, and honestly, that was the difference in the game right there. But he really put on the backpack for the Eagles, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, I think at the moment I would rank them like the top quarterbacks as Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, and then Hurts.
Okay.
But in the playoffs, I would swap Burrow and Allen.
Okay, yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. There's, other than Mahomes, like, Burrow is the person I trust most in the playoffs. But, yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, like, Mahomes, like, won the Super Bowl with an injury. Like it can only get better even, which is crazy to say.
Yeah. All right, Danny. Well, love the picks. We got a few more interview questions, but thank you for joining in the power rankings.
I thought this was very solid too.
I agree.
I mean, it started off great, and then it took a whole 180, and then he made up for it with the last picks.
I agree. Nicely done, Danny.
Oh, hi, thank you.
And we're back. So, to finish up this interview with Danny, we're just gonna ask you last couple of questions before you head out of here. Who or what are your inspirations in crew and in life?
I guess I would say just like a lot of like the famous athletes. I guess like people think of like just all like the big athletes who are just like keeping their body like in perfect shape for their sport and everything. Like just yeah, because I feel like my inspirations are more just from like other sports, because that's what like I've had a history following more.
Name one rower.
So yeah, so just like the Brady, the Jordan, like LeBron, obviously, and then just also, I don't know, just like any really like athlete with like that kind of mentality, like that Kobe, like LeBron, Jordan mentality. Yeah, because it's just like I just want to be like in that zone completely for a race. Because like before, it's kind of like I have like just all these thoughts and like nerves like building up kind of, but then once the race starts, it's honestly just like everything goes quiet and I'm just like in the zone, honestly.
Oh, interesting. So do you want to pursue crew after college at all?
I guess I don't know right now. I would say
Okay.
like I guess probably just as like for fun, and then anything more I would have to like just see how it goes, I guess.
Okay. And say today in practice you had a career-ending injury. That would be really tough, but you wouldn't be able to do crew. So what would you want to do? What is like a dream job that you'd like to have? Asking the tough questions here.
That is a tough question, especially because I'm still undecided.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I guess just something working in sports, I would say. Just I've always loved like all different sports, everything. So yeah, that would be my answer.
You should do sports production with us.
Yeah. Would you want to be a coach for crew?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought of it, like coaching, like potentially, or even in like track, like I did in high school. But I don't know, really. I just have to see.
See what the future holds.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Danny, for joining our show this week. And thank you to everyone who is listening. We will be back next week with a brand new show, so please stay tuned. Again, as always, this is the Athletes Roundtable. This is
Jordan
and Ryan signing off.
Twist it up there.
I did.